Hello, Swifty Sis. Today we're going to learn how to play Wish List, exactly how Taylor would play it on guitar. I just want you, have a couple kids, a whole block of mine. You eat so the ones to leave us the fuck alone, and they do. Wow, and you got me dreaming about a driveway with a basketball. Ooh, boss, I'm settled down, got a wish list. Just want you. So just like always, this lesson is going to be based on how I imagine that Taylor would play this if it was the acoustic set of the Eras Tour. And before we get started, if you would like to have access to my full playthrough of Wish List, along with my Showgirl era themed guide, complete with the chord charts, the strumming, and the full set of lyrics, you can access all of those extra goodies at patreon.com/fearlessfam. Sign up to become a Cruel Strummer, and you will have access to every full playthrough and printable guide for every TS lesson that I put out. I believe after this lesson, we are more than halfway through the entire Showgirl album. And then after that, we're gonna just revisit old albums and eras. So feel free to go check it out. It is the place to be if you are a guitar Swiftie. And if you were wondering, yes, this is the pink lover guitar from the Eras Tour. Not the exact one, because this is an Epiphone and Taylor plays a Gibson. So quick TLDR, Gibson owns Epiphone and they make this Epiphone inspired by Gibson J180, and they have it in pink, the frost blue, and the ebony that is right behind me here. And technically they are not signature Taylor Swift guitars, so it's totally unofficial merch. But how cool is it that you can actually own something that very closely resembles what she played on stage? So if you would like to check it out, I will link it down below. So to play Wish List exactly like Taylor, we're not gonna use a capo, and we're gonna have 9 chords. I know that sounds like a lot. This song, for the most part, is actually pretty easy. Just the second verse has kind of a different thing going on, and then the bridge is its own thing as well. But I would say the second verse is gonna be probably the most challenging, but I have some really easy alternatives that I'm gonna give you. So let's go ahead and start with our first chord, which is going to be a C major. And I'm going to beckon you to consider playing a C over G, which basically just from a C major, just pop up your third finger to the 6th, and then put your pinky where that third finger once was, and you're gonna strum down on all the strings. It just gives it that nice, full, bassy sound, and we're gonna use both of these shapes, by the way. We're gonna use C over G for the most part. If you would like to just do C major, that's totally fine. I just, personally, I think it sounds better, and I feel like it's potentially what Taylor would use if she was on stage playing this, because oftentimes when it's just her on stage with an acoustic guitar, I notice that she tends to do these voicings of chords where she'll add a little bit of extra bass to it, because it just fills in the sound a little bit more. And like, listen to that. I just want you, I just want you. Either one of those two will work just fine, but if you want that extra bass, C over G is your girl. Now, I want you to also pay attention to your first finger on the first fret, 2nd string, because many of the chords that I'm going to teach you also have your first finger right here. And I'm pointing this out because if you keep that in mind, it's going to make your chord transitions absolutely seamless. And I think this is something that Taylor prioritizes in her own guitar playing, because the chord shape voicings that she tends to use are, number one, insanely gorgeous, but number two, they have a ton of similarities between the shapes, which just makes them very easy to transition to and from. So if we go back to our C major here, our next chord is going to be an A minor 7. So just remove that third finger. Make sure you roll your thumb over the 6th string because we're muting it, and we're going to strum down from the 5th. From here, we have an F over C. This is Taylor's version of playing an F chord. So from this position here, all you're going to do is make a C shape again. And then you want to take your pinky and put it right under your last finger, and it's going to be on the 4th string. Roll your thumb over on the 6th, strum down from the 5th. From here, we're gonna have a G sus4. So what I want you to do is take off your pinky, take off your 2nd finger, then move your 3rd finger up to the 6th string, lay it over the 5th, so that way it mutes it. And then a little bit of the skin on the bottom of your finger here is also going to mute the first string. And then we're going to strum all the strings. Should sound just like that. Our last chord with the similarity is going to be a D minor 7. So remove your third finger, place your second finger on the first fret, first string, and then your third finger on the third string of the second fret. You're going to roll your thumb over the 6th and 5th strings, and you strum down from the 4th. Doesn't that sound super luxurious? All right, our final 3 chords that we have here I saved for last because they only occur during the second verse, during the Real Madrid and then Spring Break. So 2 out of the 3 are going to be bar shapes, but I have open alternatives that I'm going to give you. And the last one, which we'll start with, is actually, it's an open shape and it's really easy. So if you can make that A minor 7 that we had just a minute ago, all you do is move both of these fingers up 1 string and you strum down all of the strings. That's your E7. All right, now these 2 final chords that we have are going to be a G sharp and a G minor. These shapes can be easy, especially if you have some experience with bar chords. But first of all, the transition is really simple because you're just going from this shape to this shape. So let's go ahead and start with this G sharp, or you can call it an A flat, 2 different names, same chord. So if you have any experience making an F major here on the 1st fret, you're just sliding the shape up to the 4th and strumming down all of the strings. And you'll probably find that it's actually much easier to make this shape on this fret because here there's a lot more tension. It's harder to press down on that 1st fret, but here, it's a lot easier. So that is our G sharp. Now sliding down to the 3rd, we have our G minor. You just take your second finger off and you can actually use this second finger to reinforce the first one if you need to, and you just strum down all the strings. Now, of course, I'm going to give you the open, easy shapes, but if you would like to challenge yourself to try the bar chords, because honestly, that transition is pretty seamless, I have a course called Bar Chord Breakthrough, and it helps you break through your bar chords. And it helps you realize that bar chords aren't actually that hard. It's just knowing how to practice them, and it just breaks them down and makes them so easy. So feel free to go check that out. I'll have it linked. And let's go ahead and go over those open shapes. So let's start with that G sharp. You're essentially going to be making that D minor 7. So if you go to the 1st fret and you make that D minor 7 shape, and you slide it up to the 4th fret here, but now we're going to block or mute the top 3 strings, so strings 6, 5, and 4. With the D minor 7, it was just 6 and 5, but here we're only playing the bottom 3 strings, so we have. And then we're going to slide down to the 3rd fret, and we're going to, you can either pop these 2 up and then press your 3rd finger here, or like, you know how you make an A major with either your first 3 or your last 3 fingers, whatever you're more comfortable with. So just like that G sharp, we're also going to mute those top 3 strings, 6, 5, and 4, and just play from the 3rd on down. And that's gonna be your open G minor. So we have 2. Moving on into strumming, we have a couple of different ways that we are going to strum in this song. I'm going to start you off with the main pattern that occurs during the verses, pre-choruses, and the choruses. And then once we get to the bridge, we will cross that bridge when we get there because it has kind of a few different strumming patterns in that one section. So let's go ahead and start with this main strumming pattern here. It's going to be down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. So using our C over G for an example, we have down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. Our first progression takes place during the verses and choruses, and it starts off on either, if you want to use C major, I'm going to use the C over G here, just because I think it sounds just nice and full. It sounds really good. Then we're going to move to our A minor 7, and then 2 measures of F over C. They want their yacht life, they shop for planes, they want those bright lights and Valencia shades and a fat ass and a baby face. They want it, oh, they want that complex female character. They want that critical Spanish Palme d'Or and an Oscar on the bathroom floor. They want it, oh, and they should. Our second progression takes place during our pre-choruses, and it's just 2 measures of D minor 7. And we're using our main strumming pattern. And they should have what they want. They deserve what they want. I hope they get what they want. So that second D minor 7, you're actually just going to strum it once, like that. And in the second pre-chorus, you're actually just going to, I believe, play it one time. And they should have what they want. They deserve what they want. I hope they get what they want. So that's the second pre-chorus. So you can just do like a muted strum just like that because there's no chord there. Our third progression is going to take place during the second verse, which is really a mesh of our first progression with a new set of chords. So we're gonna have that C over G to A minor 7, 2 measures of F over C. And then we're gonna have our G sharp to our G minor, to a C major, and I personally recommend using a C major here instead of a C over G. I just think the transition is a lot easier. And then we're gonna move to an E7. They want that freedom, living off the grid. They want those 3 dogs that they call the kids, and good serve, no hypocrites. They want it, oh, they want a contract with Real Madrid, and that spring break that was fucking lit, and then that video taken off the internet. They want it, oh, and they should have what they want. They deserve what they want. I hope they get what they want. I just want you, have a couple kids, got the whole block in line. You lead solo, want to leave us stuff alone, and they do. Wow, and he got me dreaming about a job way with a basketball. Ooh, boss up, settle down, got a wish list. I made wishes. Our fourth and final progression is the bridge, and we actually have 4 lines of progression here. The first 2 are exactly the same, so we're going to start with our D minor 7 to our F over C, and then 2 measures of G sus4. You repeat that line one more time, and then we're gonna have almost the same exact thing, except the second chord's gonna be different. So we're gonna have our D minor 7 to an A minor 7, 2 measures of G sus4. Then from here, we're going to single strum an F over C and single strum a G sus4. Now the strumming for this section is a little bit difficult to break up and explain, so I'm just going to strum through the chords really slowly and just verbalize what I'm doing. So let's do the D minor 7, F over C, or A minor 7 to our 2 measures of G sus4. So we have down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. So that's how you're going to strum through those lines of progression. And then, like I said, you're gonna single down strum. Know what I want. I made wishes on all of the stars. Please, God, bring me a best friend who I think is hot. I thought I had it right once, twice, but I did not. Caught me off guard, hope I get what I want, 'cause I know what I want. And that is how to play wish list, exactly how Taylor would play it on guitar. If you would like to have access to my full playthrough so you can jam along with me from beginning to end, along with my Showgirl era themed principal guide, complete with the chord charts, the strumming, and the full set of lyrics, all of that is available to you on patreon.com/fearlessfam. Sign up to become a choral strummer and you will have access to every single principal guide and full playthrough for all of my TS lessons. It is the place to be if you are a guitar Swiftie, and I will catch you in the next one.